Atlanta police are blaming the actions of a local rapper for the shooting deaths of two 13-year-olds.
In a news conference this afternoon, the department announced it's made 7 arrests in the shooting and is still offering $50,000 in reward money for information that leads to more.
In a jaw-dropping twist of events that has rocked the music world, new, never-before-seen footage of Lil Baby behind bars is set to change the narrative forever. The Atlanta sensation, known for his electrifying performances and deep-rooted connection to his hometown, now finds himself at the heart of a storm that blurs the lines between fame and reality. Brace yourself for an explosive revelation that challenges perceptions and ignites heated debates. Prepare to be captivated by every astonishing detail as we uncover the story behind the headlines and the truth behind the camera's lens. This moment you simply cannot miss. The saga began on a sweltering May afternoon in 2024, when Lil Baby embarked on what was meant to be a groundbreaking music video shoot in one of Atlanta's most storied neighborhoods. The production, lauded for its high-energy choreography and creative flair, quickly spiraled into controversy as an unforeseen incident transformed a seemingly routine day into a turning point that continues to reverberate across the city. As the cameras rolled and the beats echoed through urban streets, tensions that had been simmering for months suddenly flared. In the wake of the incident, local law enforcement detailed events that painted an unsettling picture, one that intricately connected an electrifying video shoot with tragic consequences that would soon dominate the headlines. Eyewitnesses recall a chaotic scene punctuated by startled shouts, scattered debris, and the palpable anxiety of onlookers as an exchange of fire erupted near the set. The atmosphere, once charged with creative inspiration, was abruptly replaced by fear and disbelief as multiple individuals sustained injuries in what authorities later described
of being officially indicted for a RICO. The catalyst for the criminal complaint to get them off the streets, bring them in, and officially work on a RICO was the deaths of these two young men, Jack Bodie Davis and Lamont Freeman, two 13-year-olds that was tragically killed when Goodfellas attempted to spin the block on 4PF, Lil Baby's group. A lot of this you already heard before, but we're just recapping so we can get to the bombshell that dropped today. Trust me, it's bombshells that dropped today. So Atlanta PD blamed Lil Baby for this. It said
interplay between artistry, urban strife, and the unforgiving realities of street life in a city that pulses with both creative energy and raw, unfiltered challenges. In the immediate aftermath, social media platforms became a battleground of opinions and theories. Lil Baby, whose influence resonates deeply with fans both locally and internationally, took to Instagram in a heartfelt message that resonated with the millions who follow him. "Thank you to all my fans for standing by me and showing love," he shared, a message that quickly spread like wildfire. He urged his supporters not to fall for what he called misinformation, emphasizing that the news circulating was a distortion of the truth. His measured tone conveyed both gratitude and quiet defiance, as he reassured his audience that his focus remained on creating art and uplifting his community, despite the troubling allegations swirling around him. As the days turned into weeks, the narrative evolved into a multifaceted drama, intertwining artistic ambition and public accountability. Details emerged that the chosen shooting location, a neighborhood steeped in both history and hardship, was meant to celebrate Atlanta's cultural tapestry. According to insiders close to the production team, the decision to film there was driven by a desire to capture the raw spirit of the city, a tribute to the struggles and triumphs that define urban life. Lil Baby's connection to the area runs deep. Having grown up amid similar challenges, he has always expressed an intrinsic loyalty to his roots. His vision, articulated through his music and public appearances, has long been to give a voice to the voiceless and shine a light on both the beauty and the difficulties inherent in his community. However, the fateful day of the shoot also ignited pre-existing undercurrents that extended far beyond the confines of a film set. Rivalries between established local factions had been intensifying, and the shoot inadvertently became a flashpoint.
The stand for more than 2 hours. She testified that investigators used social media posts and wiretaps to determine that the 7 defendants are members or associates of the Goodfellas criminal street gang. Police say the shooting stemmed from a gang war sparked by rapper Lil Baby, who they claim is affiliated with the rival criminal street gang 4PF. Last May, police say the hip-hop superstar filmed a music video in their territory and multiple people were shot.
I'm not gonna lie, this is absurdity to heights I've never seen before. They're doing all of this, claiming that a gang war was started because Lil Baby filmed a music video in the ops territory. Now, I'll be real. Do I believe that Lil Baby should have been more responsible? Because, like, the optics of you being a multi-millionaire coming to these people's neighborhood in your multi-million-dollar bulletproof trucks, bringing a lot of chaos there and then leaving to go to your mansion, the optics is horrible, bro. But to paint it as this man started a gang war and he has to be held responsible for it, it's kind of like, bro, like, come on, bro.
Which investigators say sparked the
point in a conflict that some had feared for months, while law enforcement described the ensuing violence as a tragic culmination of long-standing tensions. Community members recalled a time when music and unity were the order of the day. Now, in the wake of a series of subsequent violent incidents, including the heartbreaking loss of two 13-year-olds and the wounding of an 11-year-old during a later attack, the entire situation has taken on a somber cast. The lives lost and the ongoing strife have left an indelible mark on a community that continues to wrestle with the duality of artistic aspiration and street-level peril. As investigations deepened, a series of arrests added another contentious layer to the unfolding drama. 7 individuals were taken into custody in connection with the July 2nd shooting, a fateful day when the community was once again forced to confront the stark realities of urban violence. The arrest warrants, which mentioned Lil Baby's legal name, Dominique Jones, sparked outrage among his staunch supporters. Critics argued that drawing a direct line between an artist's creative ventures and criminal acts was a simplistic and unjust interpretation of a much more complex reality. Lil Baby's legal representatives were quick to dismiss such insinuations, stressing that the decisions around the music video shoot were executed by a seasoned professional team and should not be viewed as an endorsement of any criminal activity. Instead, they maintained that linking him to the tragedy was misleading and did a disservice to the multifaceted nature of both the production and the community it aimed to represent. In an unexpected twist that has ignited a firestorm of debate both online and off,
gang war. The attorney for Lil Baby called those claims complete and total nonsense and added that his client had absolutely nothing to do with those shootings. During cross-examination today, defense attorney Brian Tevis criticized the investigation and claimed that investigators did not have any evidence that proves his client was involved or even in a gang.
I've been photographed with Chief Justice John Roberts. Am I a member of the Supreme Court?
Is the Supreme Court a gang?
Well, they're affiliated in fact. There's 3 or more members, and if any of them commits a crime, you would say they're in a gang, right?
If they commit criminal street gang activity.
That's a good argument, but that argument isn't being used on Lil Baby's behalf because Lil Baby is like the gang leader of 4PF. He is the leader. That's being used on one of the members of Lil Baby's ops, Goodfellas, right? They're all in right now on a RICO. One of the dudes, his lawyer, who's currently representing him, he wasn't even present when the 2 13-year-olds got killed. But because he hangs with these dudes, because he's a part of, I guess, whatever they got going on, he's now dragged in on a RICO, and he's being charged as well for the murder of 2 13-year-olds.
Yeah, some of the back and forth that we saw during cross-examination.
Critics and supporters alike are divided over the implications of the footage, with some arguing that it signifies a deeper entanglement with the events, while others suggest it is a setup or a misinterpretation of events. Throughout the controversy, Lil Baby has remained steadfast in his message, emphasizing that the imagery should not be taken out of context or used to undermine his lifelong dedication to his craft and his community. Amid the maelstrom of accusations and swirling rumors, Lil Baby's own words continue to reverberate with a sense of determined optimism. "I stand by my art, my people, and my community," he declared in an impassioned social media video posted shortly after the arrest news broke. In that clip, his voice resonated with calm authority, and his message was unmistakably clear. He is not defined by sensational headlines or misconstrued images, but by the work he puts forth to inspire and uplift. His comments, though succinct, provided a window into a man caught in the eye of a rapidly evolving storm. Rather than succumb to the weight of the allegations, he affirmed his commitment to protecting the spirit of his community and ensuring that every setback becomes a stepping stone towards a brighter future. The controversy has cast a long shadow over what was meant to be a celebration of musical innovation and urban storytelling. The production team behind the music video, a group of industry veterans with a shared love for Atlanta's vibrant culture, have now found themselves navigating a maze of legal inquiries and public scrutiny. Friends and colleagues of Lil Baby have rallied in his defense, describing him as an artist whose vision transcends the constraints of any single incident. They emphasize that he has always used his platform for positive change, whether by mentoring young talent or by investing in community projects aimed at revitalization. For many in the local arts community, the events surrounding the video shoot serve as a stark reminder of the dangerous intersection.
Is Lil Baby cowardless actions that led to these two 13-year-old kids losing their lives.
Mont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts.
Capture realities of street life. In conversations with close associates, Lil Baby has been candid about the personal toll the situation has taken on him. This isn't just about headlines or rumors, he explained during a recent interview with a trusted confidant. It's about the responsibility I feel towards my city and its youth. I grew up here, and every time something like this happens, it hits me hard because I see so much of myself in these kids. His reflections not only underscore his deep connection to his hometown, but also reveal the inner conflict of balancing artistic success with a personal commitment to social change. Even as he navigates the swirling currents of controversy, his voice remains that of someone determined to transform adversity into an opportunity for growth and unity. The ripple effects of the incident have spread far beyond the immediate confines of the music industry. Local residents, who have long viewed Lil Baby as both a hero and a symbol of Atlanta's resilience, are now grappling with a crisis of perception. For many, the artist embodies the hopes and struggles of an entire generation, and the possibility that his latest challenges could have far-reaching implications is a sobering thought. Neighborhood gatherings, community meetings, and even casual conversations at local cafes have been charged with a mix of disbelief and cautious optimism as people try to reconcile the sensational media narrative with the genuine compassion and commitment that Lil Baby has exhibited over the years. Throughout this period of intense scrutiny and media frenzy, law enforcement officials have maintained that their primary concern remains the safety and well-being of the community, while some of the statements released by the police have been met with criticism for their perceived haste in assigning blame. Officials insist that every piece of evidence is being meticulously reviewed. They stress that the ongoing investigation is complex and that the connection between the music video shoot and the subsequent violence.
Now again, this is going to continue next Monday at 12:30, and at that point the judge will decide if there's enough evidence for these suspects to stand trial. We're live in downtown Atlanta. Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
Here's the crazy part. Goodfellas ain't even been indicted by a grand jury yet. They got brought in due to probable cause, and they're being detained due to the nature of the crime. So they're still going through the grand jury process to try to figure out if there's probable cause to formally indict them on charges. Varito the Vixen is listed as a gang expert. So essentially, she goes undercover because she looks the way she does. She gets entangled with these gangbangers, take the information they give them, and then use it against them in court. So she took the stand today at the Goodfellas grand jury hearing, I believe. And during this hearing, she said a couple things that relates to Lil Baby that we have to discuss. All right, so let's get into it.
All right, and this investigation began with your looking at the certain Instagram page, and whose was that?
Plistic, cause and effect relationship. As the investigation unfolds, authorities have pledged to balance their duty to uphold the law with a respect for the rights of those involved, ensuring that the truth is uncovered without sacrificing the integrity of the process. Within the heart of this maelstrom, the new jail footage has emerged as the most polarizing element yet. The video, which appears to capture Lil Baby in a moment of vulnerability and isolation, has ignited a wildfire of debate among his fan base. Critics argue that the images provide undeniable proof of his direct involvement in a series of events that have shaken the community to its core. Meanwhile, loyal supporters contend that the footage has been taken out of context, a manipulated fragment meant to sensationalize an artist who has always dedicated his life to the betterment of his neighborhood. The stark visuals have spurred passionate responses online, with hashtags and viral posts, both defending his character and demanding transparency from those responsible for the edit. As the public discourse intensifies, Lil Baby's legal team has been working tirelessly behind the scenes to counter what they consider to be a spate of misleading narratives. In a detailed statement issued to the media, his attorneys condemned the premature conclusions drawn by some commentators and underscored that every decision made throughout the music video shoot was conducted with the utmost professionalism. They stressed that the allegations linking him to the violent events were not supported by any concrete evidence and that, In a community built on strong familial ties and shared history, such oversimplifications can have damaging repercussions. Their words painted a picture of an individual who is being unfairly targeted by a wave of sensationalism, an artist whose every move is scrutinized not only for its artistic merit, but also for its unintended political implications. In quieter moments away from the barrage of media attention, Lil Baby has taken time to reflect on the broader implications of these turbulent events.
Don't think that phone is not tapped.
Yeah.
If the feds want you, they got ways to get you, bro.
Right, and they got something called, I think, stingrays that basically monitor the packets, like the data that goes out from the jail. So all the text messages you send, they're grabbing all that.
Yeah.
And they could reconstruct it and put it back into your cell and say, oh, look, he texted this, this, and this.
Niggas being gangs, chatting, being group chats, this, that. Nah, bro. The feds gonna use all that information.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the
FBI's, you would agree they're the biggest gang in the world.
100%. 100%.
The police is the second biggest gang.
Yeah. No, I mean, and in fact, my man Taxstone, I remember I talked to his lawyer after he was found guilty. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he spoke to some of the jury members. And, you know, the jury basically told him, Troy Ave taking the stand.
Sitting in the solitude of his private studio, he has shared that the weight of the situation feels both personal and communal. Every setback is a lesson, and every mistake is an opportunity to learn, he remarked in a rare, candid moment during a one-on-one conversation with longtime friends. His introspection revealed that, regardless of public opinion or the sensational nature of recent headlines, his ultimate goal remains unchanged: to continue using his music as a platform for healing, empowerment, and unity. This calm determination in the face of adversity resonates deeply with fans who have followed his journey from humble beginnings to stardom. For many in Atlanta, the recent turn of events has raised profound questions about identity, responsibility, and the influence of celebrity in modern society. The city, long celebrated for its rich musical heritage and resilient spirit, is now at a crossroads. Its Kai-sensei residents find themselves torn between embracing the allure of sensational headlines and honoring the legacy of an artist who has played an instrumental role in shaping the local cultural landscape. Community leaders have called for a measured response, one that recognizes the need for thorough investigation and measured accountability without resorting to knee-jerk reactions that undermine the complexities of urban life. The call for unity, it seems, is more urgent now than ever before. Amid all the controversy and uncertainty, one message remains constant in Lil Baby's narrative: an unwavering commitment to his roots and his people. Whether through his music, his public statements, or his unmistakable presence on social media, he has repeatedly reinforced the notion that the struggles of the past should not define the promise of the future. Even as headlines scream of chaos and law enforcement statements cast shadows of doubt over his intentions, his core message is one of hope and resilience, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, the spirit of community and creativity can provide.
Saying that Lil Baby told them.
And that's the important thing. And it's not Lil Baby's people saying it. It's the rival group.
Oh.
So the same people who allegedly went and did this shooting are the same people that are allegedly caught on wiretap talking about Lil Baby said this and that. To me, it sounds like hearsay. Unless they plan on testifying against him, whatever. But I think it's another reach, and it's going to end with Atlanta, the judicial system of Atlanta, looking
a guiding light. In his own words, he has pledged to continue his efforts to uplift and empower those around him, a promise that has earned him respect and admiration across generations. While many controversies often leave behind a trail of mistrust and disillusionment, this chapter in Atlanta's storied history has instead ignited a call for deeper introspection and collective healing. Observers note that the unfolding drama, with its swirling mix of footage, legal statements, and public outcry, is not merely about one man or one incident. It represents a larger commentary on how society navigates the tumultuous intersection of fame, responsibility, and the relentless pursuit of truth. In every whispered conversation and fervent social media post, there is an undercurrent of hope that out of this chaos, a more profound understanding of accountability and artistic expression will emerge. The community, still reeling from the shock of recent events, now faces the challenge of reconciling its collective memory with the ever-changing landscape of modern urban life. Behind the layers of controversy and conflicting reports lies a narrative that defies easy answers. Lil Baby, an artist whose life story is interwoven with the very fabric of Atlanta, continues to stand tall in the face of adversity. The new footage, while stirring intense debate, ultimately serves as a reminder that images and headlines can never fully capture the complexity of a person's journey. His story is one of evolution, marked by both success and setback, of resilience forged in the crucible of fame and hardship. The investigation proceeds and more details come to light. The full picture of what transpired on that fateful day remains a work in progress, a mosaic of truth, misinterpretation, and the relentless passage of time. In recent interviews, Lil Baby has reiterated his unwavering devotion to his art and his community. He spoke earnestly about the transformative power of music and how each lyric
and Dirty Tay, and they killed another person like Jaquan Wilson, right?
Okay.
But then here's the thing, though. Keontae Davis was forced to testify because, again, this could have just been a 4PF Nate murder, but they actually turned it into a gang case, and they forced Keontae Davis to testify that 4PF is a gang.
Lyric and beat is imbued with the spirit of those who have supported him throughout his life. I make music because it heals, because it binds us together, even in the toughest times. He shared in an impassioned message that resonated with thousands of fans. His words, laced with sincerity and determination, underscore an enduring belief that personal trials can be channeled into creative brilliance, a belief that has defined his career and continues to inspire those who see him as more than just a headline, but as a beacon of hope. The emotional weight of the incident is felt not only on a personal level for Lil Baby, but also across the wider cultural landscape. Atlanta, a city renowned for its dynamic musical scene and innovative spirit, has long been a crucible for both artistic expression and social change. The recent events have prompted deep discussions about the responsibilities of public figures and the intricate ties between celebrity culture and community identity. In neighborhoods that have weathered decades of change and hardship, there is an emerging sentiment that every artist, every creative endeavor, carries with it the power to shape narratives and inspire transformation. For many, Lil Baby stands as a living testament to that power, an embodiment of the belief that even the darkest chapters can lead to brighter beginnings. Behind every powerful performance lies a personal story of triumph and strife, and Lil Baby's journey is no exception. Despite the whirlwind of controversy that now surrounds him, he has never shied away from engaging with the truth of his experiences. His recent statements, delivered with measured resolve, highlight a man who refuses to be defined solely by the circumstances of a single day. Rather, he chooses to embrace the complexity of his life, acknowledging the pain and the passion that have fueled his evolution as an artist and as a person deeply rooted in the struggles and successes of his community. Every new detail that emerges adds another layer to the ongoing dialogue between the media, the public, and
they shot and killed an affiliate of Goodfellas called Trevante Turner. And after they shot and killed Trevante Turner, Goodfellas spun back on 4PF, and when they shot up the neighborhood, they shot and killed the two 13-year-olds. So they're directly blaming Lil Baby for this.
Authorities say a high-ranking member of the Goodfellas gang who was incarcerated orchestrated the attack using a smuggled cell phone. Following those instructions, the suspects opened fire at an apartment complex where the three young teens were gathered to celebrate Freeman's birthday. Police say they weren't the targets.
Here's where things start getting interesting for Lil Baby. So Goodfellas got caught. They rounded up all the dusty ninjas who took the lives of these two precious little boys.
These kids were innocent victims. So when we talk about the gang involvement, these two 13-year-olds and this 11-year-old, they didn't have a gang involvement.
Those arrested were identified as Keontae Sanders, Richard Hollis, Reginald.
Those directly affected by the unfolding drama. As the investigation into the music video shoot and its aftermath continues, questions remain about responsibility and the forces that drive society to seek simple explanations for complex events. Yet amidst these uncertainties, one thing is clear. Lil Baby's story, with all its twists and turns, has captivated a generation. His journey is not merely about a single event or a fleeting moment of controversy. It is about a deep, resonant connection to a community that has both inspired and challenged him in equal measure. The unfolding narrative now compels us to look beyond the sensational headlines and the provocative footage. It demands that we consider the broader cultural implications of what has transpired. In many ways, This entire saga is a microcosm of the struggles faced by urban communities everywhere, a struggle to balance the pressures of modern media with the timeless desire to express one's true self. Throughout this ordeal, Lil Baby has shown that despite the chaos and the public spectacle, his commitment to his craft and his community remains unshakable. His personal reflections reveal not only a sense of accountability, but also a renewed determination to channel the pain of recent events into meaningful artistic expression and transformative community work. Even as legal experts and cultural commentators dissect every frame of the new jail footage, conversations continue to emphasize the need for compassion and understanding. Friends, family, and longtime supporters have come forward to share their perspectives on a man whose life has been inextricably linked with both the soaring highs of musical success and the harsh realities of street life. In these quieter moments, Lil Baby's character shines through as someone who has always prioritized the welfare of his community over the allure of fame. His gentle yet resolute voice echoes a commitment to overcome adversity, not through blame, but through creative expression and community solidarity.
If your ops get a RICO, you'll probably get in a RICO. And in the case of Lil Baby, Goodfellas is going through the court process right now.
But day 3 of officially doing something, I think they're going to do something today, of the Goodfella gang, where they are trying to see if they're going to move forward for the indictment, move forward for it to go to the grand jury.
Now, listen, Lil Baby is beefing with Goodfella, but today in court, there was wiretaps being played, and on one of the wiretaps, somebody mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets, aka a bag, a bounty, on some people's heads. If they know what the ops did to you, they know what you did to the ops. That's the code of the streets, people. So don't ever celebrate your ops getting a RICO, bruh. That just means that you next. Now, if we look at the receipts for Trevante Turner, the police report when he passed away, if you look at the literal police report, they listed 4PF as a criminal street gang which laid claims to the Oakland City neighborhood of Atlanta. And they talked about the shooting death of Trevante Turner, et cetera, et cetera.
The media frenzy surrounding the footage and the subsequent investigations has in many ways overshadowed the larger narrative of personal redemption and transformative growth. As the public grapples with images that have been manipulated and narratives that appear as if they are pulled from a cinematic script, it is important to remember that at the heart of this story lies a real human being with a profound connection to his roots. Lil Baby continues to be guided by the memories of his upbringing and the inspiring stories of those who have influenced his journey. His message remains one of hope, resilience, and the belief that music can be the catalyst for change, even in the most trying times. This entire chapter in Atlanta's history is a testament to the enduring power of art and the human spirit. What began as a routine music video shoot morphed into a defining moment that has challenged perceptions and stirred heartfelt debates across the nation. Amid the swirling controversies and the flashing cameras, Lil Baby's steady determination and deeply felt connection to his community have served as a beacon of light. He has made it clear that every hardship endured will only serve to propel him and his city towards a future defined by unity, creativity, and unwavering strength. In reflecting on the whirlwind of events, it becomes evident that sensational headlines and striking visuals can only capture a fraction of the truth. The artistry, the passion, and the relentless drive that have always characterized Lil Baby's career are far more complex than any single image or soundbite can convey. His journey continues to unfold in real time, a narrative enriched by both triumphs and trials. As new evidence comes to light and as voices from every corner of the community share their stories, the picture that emerges is one of resilience and unyielding hope, a message that resonates with every individual who dares to dream of a better tomorrow. While debates rage on and interpretations differ, one undeniable truth persists. Lil Baby,
that quote-unquote disappeared on Instagram for you is still being hosted, and they was able to pull the messages that was sent in disappearing mode, self-snitching, and use it to indict them on a RICO. Oh my, yo, the streets is cold, bro.
All right, this is what's coming up now. Is already admitted into evidence. Is this the message that was sent?
It is.
And so that was Martavius Smith sent that to Mr. Sanders.
He did.
All right, now What was significant about that to you?
I knew that Jay Shot or John Smith was a close associate of the leader of 4PF, Dominique Lil Baby Jones.
And 4PF, as you testified already, was a gang that you recognized as being in a rivalry with the Goodfellas, and in particular the Only My Family subset of the Goodfellas?
And their associates, yes.
Okay. And how did you know this about John J. Shot Smith, that he was a member of 4PF?
He can be seen out there.
Babies. Music and message have left an indelible mark on Atlanta and beyond. He remains a figure who transcends controversy, an artist whose influence is measured not only by the accolades he has received, but also by the lives he has touched along the way. The unfolding saga, with its twists and turns, is ultimately a story about the human capacity to rise above adversity through creativity, connection, and the unwavering belief that every setback is simply a prelude to a greater comeback. As the investigation presses forward, and as more details come to the forefront, the public's understanding of this intricate web of events will undoubtedly evolve. Yet amid the speculation and the heated debates, one fact remains immutable. The spirit of Atlanta, with all its dynamism and resilience, lives on in the heart of its people and in the music that tells their story. Lil Baby, through every tweet, interview, and beat that reverberates from the speakers, continues to embody that indomitable spirit, a spirit that refuses to be diminished by controversy and instead rises, stronger and more defiant, in the face of adversity. In the final analysis, the recent developments have opened up a critical dialogue about the intersections of art, accountability, and community. They have challenged everyone to look beyond sensationalism and to appreciate the nuanced realities that define a modern urban narrative. In this ongoing journey, Lil Baby has invited the world to witness not only the evolution of a star but also the collective heartbeat of a city that has long been a crucible for change, creativity, and enduring hope. Thank you for joining me on this in-depth exploration of one of the most sensational and complex stories to hit Atlanta in recent times. Stay tuned for more updates and riveting insights as we continue to unravel the narrative behind the headlines. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unfolding drama and want to see more exclusive updates, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel.